Okay, y'all. It's a little after 6:30, so I'm going to call our little meeting to order. Thank you very much for coming. We're competing tonight with the neighborhood night out that the Cheyenne Police Department does, so I didn't expect this many people, so I'm so happy you're here. Thanks for coming. So as always, we've got pizza in the back. We've got pins. We've got the 50-50 raffle if you need a 50-50 raffle ticket. We've got 50-50 raffle tickets back there. So most of you are regulars and know that we start every meeting with our vision and our mission. So our vision is that we see a county with a diversified economy, vibrant downtowns in every community, expanded health care, great public education, and an inclusive community with affordable housing and excellent public services. And to get that, we have to accomplish our mission, elect Democrats. That's the only reason we're here. As always, I'll give you a minute to look at the minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes as corrected? Second. Motion by Bob and seconded by Freddie. Minutes are approved. Well, I guess we have to vote on it. Go ahead and say aye if you think they're okay.
Aye. Aye.
There you go. Thank you. So with that, we come to the treasurer's report. Mr. Cromley.
So as usual, it's the biennium to date. And start of the year, biennium off at 94.66. Last month we covered, we have $19,841. The income, I'm not going to read all the individual numbers, but just the total. The big item was Act Blue, as always. There's events that we had, the meeting, the pride table, candidate reception, and there was some personal stolen checks, including the $1,000 matching fund check, $1,000. And it was total income $35.29 for this is for June. June expenses, the normal website, storage unit, and office rent. And now we've gone into starting to have spending money advertising for the Register to Vote campaign. And that's on Facebook, on newspaper, Target Smart, which I can't remember exactly where that is, Traders. Total expenses was $27.68. The ending balance for this month is $20,602. I've got a bunch of comments here. I am looking for allowing people with experience in the biennial reporting to CFAS, which is the Wyoming Campaign Finance Information System. Bob is going to help me out. I want to contact Bob. If there's any other contacts that you know of, I'd appreciate seeing me after the meeting. Are there any questions?
Thanks, Dave. I have one comment on the treasurer's report. I guess it's as good to say it here as when I get down to what the advertising is for. As people have been donating to the Laramie County Democratic Party in the last few months, I've been promising everybody that the money will go for the candidates, and therefore the money that we've spent on advertising, I did an Act Blue donation this week to cover the money we've spent on advertising up to now, so that all of your money, everybody's money that's donating to the Laramie County Democratic Party, that's going to go to the candidates. The way the things look right now, every candidate from Laramie County, if we're going to keep a little bit of money, you know, because we have to keep the lights on, but every candidate from Laramie County, including our one candidate, or I guess two candidates that are running statewide, right after the primary should get about $1,250, which is, you know, that's $1,250 doesn't go as far as it used to, but it's better than nothing. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I guess with that,
I don't have an email other than the
I'll get into the rest of our agenda here. Next on the agenda, I'd like to talk about the events we did in this last month. This was a really busy month for us. We started the month at the convention. Of course, we talked about that at the last meeting. The next weekend after that was Pride. The next weekend after that was our candidate reception at the Botanical Gardens. And the next weekend after that was Super Day. So bunches of people in this room volunteered for all of those things. I appreciate the volunteers so much. I think they were really successful. Pride, we got a lot of people at our booth. We got a lot of people to volunteer. We had a whole bunch of people sneak up and say, "I'm a Democrat," which I don't know why that has to be a secret, but I was glad to hear from them. And then the Botanic Gardens event was, I thought, pretty well attended. Everybody got a chance to see the candidates. I had a lot of fun. That's a beautiful venue. That's one of the coolest things we have in Cheyenne. And then we did Super Day, which we've done now for quite a few years. That was a little bit different this year in that they put us on Candidates Row, which they've never had before, which meant it was in the median on Cary. I think maybe they were trying to send a message, although they did block the street, so it could have been worse. So there was some good and bad. The bad was not near as many people came by the booth as would have come by the booth if they'd have been someplace else. The good was people that came by the booth were interested in politics. That's the only reason they came there. So the people that did come by the booth, we got to talk about politics with, and that was good. And we got some volunteers out of that. We had a lot of good conversations. We had a lot of people come up and really want to know where candidates stood on things. There were a couple people that just grilled me, which is good. That's why I'm running. That's the fun of it. But they had really good questions. They were really engaged. So I think all of those were good. We had an awful lot of fun. Gave a lot of frisbees and sunglasses away to little kids, which is the funnest thing that we do. So I think that gets us through the past events. I'd like to discuss our picnic a little bit. Every summer we have a picnic. We've done that again for years and years and years. I'd like to make the picnic a bigger deal this year than it's been in the past, specifically because our candidates need to be able to get their message out to people. So we've always had this little Democratic Party picnic every year. I'd like to invite everybody. I'd like to invite every independent. I'm going to do that probably with a text. I'd like to invite everybody that's switched parties. I can do that with a text too, as well as all the Democrats. Mr. Van Dyke back there in the back has an awesome sound system, and I think you've got battery 120 volt system, so we'll have a real sound system so our candidates will be able to be heard. We're going to have a DJ, and we're really going to try to make this into something so that the candidates can have an event. That's going to be August 22nd. It's going to be in the West Shelter at Holiday Park from noon to 4. And there's going to be starting to be a bunch of advertisements out about that, so you hopefully won't be able to miss it. If you haven't heard about it in about a week, start chewing me out for not getting the word out. It's noon to 4. And if you think about the weather on August 22nd, traditionally in Cheyenne, I'd try to hit the noon to 2 time frame, because the chance that we have a thunderstorm before 4 o'clock is pretty high. Anything else you guys want to do? What's that?
What time it is it start?
At noon. It starts at noon, right at noon. It's August the 22nd. It'll be right after the primary, which is one of the reasons I think it's really going to be good to invite the switchers. They think they're doing something for their county by switching. At this moment, whatever they tried to do, that's in the past. So I'm hopeful that they'll come out and support Democratic candidates. So I think it's a real good time to try to get everybody together and try to get our message out to people. Holiday Park, West Shelter. So the West Shelter is, there's 2 shelters near Big Boy. The West Shelter is obviously the westmost one of those 2.
So it's not Lions Park?
No,
Oh, it's holiday.
holiday park. Oh, one other thing. This is really important. I just put an event on Mobilize about that picnic today. Mobilize is a great platform. I don't know if you all use it, but if you want to find out things that are going on that we care about, it's going to go to mobilize.us and it'll find events in your area. And the nice thing about it is if I put an event on and Joe puts an event on and Jim Bird puts an event on, when you go there to look at Joe's event, you get to see mine. So it kind of advertises for everybody. But in this particular case, it's really important because we're inviting all these people, and the big problem I always have with any of these events is how many people are showing up. How many people are going to come? How many hamburgers do I have to get? And so if we all sign up on Mobilize, RSVP on Mobilize, I'm going to get a lot better idea of whether there's going to be 50 people or 500 people. And, you know, I'd pass out if there were 500 people. There's not 500 people don't show up for anything in Cheyenne, let alone something political. But it'd sure be nice to know they were coming before they got there if there really are going to be 500. So go to mobilize.us. You can do it on your phone or do it on your computer, do it on your iPad, and sign up. It just went live this afternoon. So we'll kind of know how many people are going to be there. Kathleen, did I miss anything else about the picnic? Did I get all that? Well, so the question was, do all of us need to provide something? Are we going to, besides hamburgers, do we need to bring like chips or desserts? And we've always done that in the past. In the next week or two, I'm hopeful to start getting an idea how many people are going to come. If it's a whole bunch of people, we may just cater it rather than try to handle it with ourselves. And I'll get the word out one way or the other. But, you know, if...
Well, we have another meeting. We have another monthly meeting.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Sure.
We're inviting our national candidates and our state candidates.
Our state candidates, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And in fact, if, you know, whoever wants to come and, you know, would be welcome to come. I don't think that... It's been my experience that when I've invited Republicans to Democratic events, for some reason they haven't shown up. But certainly our candidates will all be there. I hope that Jim can make it. I've reached out to Lisa Kinney, and I'm pretty sure she's going to make it. Sergio, yeah. Let's see. Go.
Will we know write-in candidates at that time too?
Yes. Yes. If we get candidates successfully written in, and there's a gentleman sitting here amongst us that we're going to try to write in. If we can write them in for the primary, we only need 25 people to write the name in right for the primary. And so Greg Winters here, G-R-E-G, W-I-N-T-E-R-S, we're going to go door to door with cards for Greg to get everybody to get this right in House District 12. Greg will be running in House District 12, which currently that seat is held by Clarence Stivar, and it would really be fun to...
So it has to be 25 people in that district, right?
Yeah, in House District 12. I don't know if there's anybody here from House District 12, and maybe we'll have some other write-ins too. That'd be really nice. Something that I just learned and probably have messed up all my life, writing in people on the ballot. You write the name in, there's a bubble beside that blank line on the ballot. You need to color the bubble in too.
I'd like to clarify something. I went down to the elections office today, and I got a sample ballot. This one is Greg's address. Now, when you do a paper ballot, like advanced voting, absentee voting, it looks like this right here. You can come up and look at it if you want to, and you have a little bubble to put in there. Now, if you're voting on a machine, however, it takes you sequentially through races. And so when you see state representative, House district, we don't need to go through all the details, because if you look at this one, it's got about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 races that all have no candidate. So you have to know the right one to stop and put right in and put his name. And talking with him about what we can do because saying just fill in the bubble is not gonna work for somebody who's walking in and voting on a machine. But what I did talk with Greg about, the idea, if we really wanna support this, find 25 people that are in that district and have them request an absentee ballot. And then we can go down and make sure they correctly do it with the bubble. And that way we can be assured that he gets in. If you wanna go that way, isn't Joe wanna do something too on a write-in?
No. I was thinking about it.
So,
I'm thinking about school district.
so
I saw that.
Ted hasn't talked enough to you, huh?
I already know why I live.
So,
But
Yeah.
if we could find 25 people in that district that'll agree to get an absentee ballot in advance, then we can make sure.
I think that's a really good idea.
So it's called.
You say you cannot write in on a machine?
Oh, yeah, you can write in, it's just different. It's not as simple as,
They need to know what.
Having a
If we
line.
have- If we have 25 people that have agreed to work with us and get the ballot, and then we've got 25 sewed up.
before they even have.
In essence, what he's saying, he's gonna coach you through filling out the form.
No, just that race.
Well, yes, that race on that.
Yeah, on the House
By
District
the
12.
way, on an offhand comment, I got one for me and one for Greg's place, and there are 14 propositions on this ballot. 3 whole pages of propositions. And personally, I think I'd rather get an absentee ballot and sit and read this stuff than stand there and waste time at a voting machine all day.
Sure.
And for all of you people who know people who are unaffiliated, if they think they're not a Democrat or Republican and they don't need to go vote, there's 14 propositions that affect them, much less all the
Judges or whatever.
Bipartisan races.
So if he gets 25 votes, he's automatically on the general election ballot.
Yes.
And if nobody gets more than 25.
Yeah, if somebody else doesn't get more than 25, but since,
Whoever the writing candidate is who gets the most votes is the one who goes on the general.
right,
Okay.
right, and then, but it's gotta be at least 25. If he gets 24, he won't
Yeah.
qualify.
Gotcha.
But 25 is a low bar. You know, in past elections, we've tried to get somebody on the general ballot after the primary, and that's some certain percentage of all the voters in the district, and it's really difficult. I mean, getting 25 signatures ought to be a slam dunk, I think. I think it's pretty easy. And so if you live in House District 43, I would really love it if you'd raise your hand so we could do that for you.
Just to show you an example of what could go wrong, if somebody's thinking write in Greg, and they're going down through the machine, oh, here, write in, and all of a sudden, Greg's got 25 votes for auditor.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of blank spaces there.
Right. So that, speaking of Greg and what we're trying to do brings me to the next thing on my agenda. And amazingly, I'm right on time. I can't believe that. But I want everybody in this room who's not running for a race, and there's a bunch of people in this room running for a race, and I'm very, very proud of them. If you're not running for a race, I want you to adopt somebody that is running and help them with their campaign. All of our candidates need money, and all of our candidates need volunteers. Every single one. They can't have enough. I mean, that's how we can beat the Freedom Caucus, is with a little bit of money and a lot of volunteer time. And so I've been really closely involved in Democratic politics in Laramie County only since 2020. I'm sort of ashamed myself that I can only say that I've really been involved since 2020. But in the time that I've been involved, it's come clear to me that it's very difficult to get people to donate to candidates. And I believe that's probably because nobody trusts us. And I don't blame them for not trusting us, because we don't win a lot of races. We're going to win some races this year, so please trust us, because if we have a little bit of money and a lot of your time, we will win. We've got some good strategies. We're going to discuss some of the strategies here in a second. We've got really good candidates. The best people I know are running for, the best people I know. I'm just saying, the best people I know in the whole county are running for office. And so it's worth helping them. And the one other thing I would say, and I've said this before, and probably the fact that you don't remember it is the antithesis of what I'm trying to say, but the way we get the word out, even in this day and age with Facebook and Instagram and all that, the way the word gets out is word of mouth. When you talk to your neighbor and say, you know, Greg Winters is a good guy, we need to vote for him, that means way more than a million Facebook posts that I could put out there. So you need to do that. You need to be not shy about telling people these are good people that we need to go out and support. There's a statistic that I used in my precinct person training more than a year ago now. It's hard to believe it's been that long. But the communication that happens in the world, how much of it happens on Facebook? 7%. So, you know, we think we post something on Facebook and a whole bunch of people are going to read it. You'd be better off talking to your neighbor about it. And that's a lot more worthwhile than putting it on Facebook. So that brings me to the next thing on the agenda, unless there's any question about what candidates need help, because I can point you to some people that need help in this room right now. So Gavin Lobmeyer back there, he could use your help. Jim Bird could use your help. Barbara Cabot could use your help. I'm probably beyond help, but I'd really appreciate it.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is Greg here right now? Greg Winters? Okay. I just want to know who you are, because I didn't know you. So thank you.
We got time to stand up and introduce himself.
Yeah, that'd be good. You want to do that right now, Greg?
I know him.
Yeah, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Greg Winters. I'm gonna run a write-in vote. I couldn't register, you know, when they registered because I work for the U.S. government. But I'm gonna retire at the end of this month. So I'm gonna go around and try to get in my neighborhood. I'm gonna walk my neighborhood and try to get 25 people to write me in. And hopefully I'll get on the ballot and I can beat the guy that's there now. He's not a bad guy. I talked to him today. Clarence Stiver. Yeah, he was at,
Yeah.
I had to go to a thing they're gonna, they're trying to annex,
Yes.
put a man camp in next to my house.
Right.
Clarence was there.
Yeah.
To stand up for that, and I talked to him, and
Yeah.
I said, thank you for coming.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And, you know.
The interesting thing about Clarence Stivar, which gives us a real chance with
Yeah,
Greg,
I'm Greg Winters.
is that in the last election, Clarence Stivar ran unopposed. We didn't have a Democratic candidate. He only got 800 votes. So if he only got 800 votes and he was running unopposed, I'd say Mr. Winters, who is a good man, has a really good chance of winning this thing. So that gets us to a little bit of a discussion of ads. Dave mentioned it briefly when we were talking about the Treasurer's report. Well, first of all, and we talk about this all the time, 40% of the people that are old enough to vote in Laramie County are not registered to vote. Seems to me like it's a lot easier to get people to register to vote than it is to get a Republican to flip over and vote for a Democrat. So we need to get people registered to vote. So we're running right now kind of a low level, just simmering campaign. It's really going to kick up as soon as early voting starts. But my whole idea on this is the one election law we have in Wyoming that is beneficial to people is that you can register and vote in the same day. So with this ad campaign, we're trying to get people to recognize that they can do that, recognize that if they have a Wyoming driver's license that's a real ID, that's all they need when they go down there. It may be very difficult to get that driver's license, especially if you're a woman and your name is changed and all that. But once you have the driver's license, and if anybody needs help getting a driver's license, we'll help them. But once you have that Wyoming driver's license with a real ID, that's the only thing the county clerk needs. So we're trying to tell people that, and we're trying to tell them when early voting starts, which is July 21st. And there's one day during the primary period, August 2nd, where you can go down and register and vote at the library, which is a good thing. And then, of course, August 18th is the primary, and all the voting areas, there's like 5 of them that are in Laramie County, are going to be open to where you can go down and register and vote. So we're doing that on several platforms, in the newspaper, on the traders. You guys probably all seen the traders. One of the interesting things I've learned about traders doing this is the circulation of the Wyoming Tribune Eagle is 3,400 people. The circulation of the traders is 16,000. And the ads are a lot cheaper to put in traders than they are to put in the newspaper. So if you're trying to reach people, traders is not a bad way to go. We're putting ads on Facebook and Instagram. I feel really pleased that I figured out all the hoops you have to jump through so I can do that. So for candidates, I will tell you, since I can put ads on there, and I know it's really difficult to get whatever it is cleared, certified, so you can do that. If you have an ad that you want to put on there that says paid for by the Laramie County Democrats, if you just, whatever that ad costs, if you would reimburse Laramie County Democrats, I'll put the ad out there. It's just one little thing I can do for the candidates. But so we're advertising there, and then Dave mentioned briefly we have a platform called Target Smart. And what Target Smart does, well, it's several things, but you know the little banner ads you always see on any website you go to? I can put banner ads on a website, and I can put the little square ads on the website, and I can make those static. I can also do little videos and put them on every streaming platform. So like on Hulu, on Netflix, on any of those, I can get those ads on there. And I can really target things. For instance, right now what I'm targeting with these ads is I'm targeting people within 5 miles of the intersection of Fox Farm Road and College Drive. So there's a circle around that, who are between 18 and 39 years old, because to me those are the people that are most likely to not be registered to vote. And Target Smart has these ways, these algorithms it uses to figure out whether people are likely to be registered to vote or not. So I can target that narrow group of people. What that means for us or for candidates that choose to use this platform, which again I will offer this to any candidate. And I and Jim Van Dyke can help you with the ad, putting the ad together, the little video or whatever you want. If you want to see Jim's work, you can look at our YouTube channel. Every one of these monthly meetings is on the YouTube channel, so you can see the kind of work we're doing. When you target that small audience like that, it's relatively inexpensive. I've been advertising on Target Smart now 2 different campaigns. The first one was, hey, we're Democrats. There's a few of us in Laramie County. Don't feel like you're alone. Then the second series of ads has all been about registering and voting on the same day. Between those 2, I think I've spent, Dave could tell you exactly, but around $700. And I've been running ads since March. So there's people out there that maybe have more reach and everything and do this all the time, but they also cost a lot more money. Anyway, that's what we're doing with our advertising. And as far as the advertising budget goes at this moment in time, since I'm trying to finance candidates, that's elect Democrats. Remember, that's our mission. Whatever Dave says we've spent on ads, I make a donation to the Laramie County Act Blue to cover the ads. So I'm covering the ad budget for now. Once we really get into, well, once we clear the primary, and I keep thinking of clearing the primary because I hope that there's a whole bunch of people who switch to the Republican Party so they can have whatever influence they think they're going to have in the primary. I hope they feel guilty on August 19th. And therefore, I hope when I reach out to them and say, our candidates need volunteers, and oh, by the way, I need volunteers on this effort to register people to vote, that I'm going to have an audience of people who are willing to help. And I think it might work. I'm pretty, you can ask my kids, I'm pretty good at putting a guilt trip on people. We'll really start hitting it once that happens. Once we get to early voting, I'm going to ramp up the ads I'm doing. I'm not doing any video ads right now. I've got 3 that I've written the scripts for that I'm going to do. I don't know if any young people want to hear an old guy like me talk about registering to vote, but I've tried to come up with some things that I hope will resonate with them. So I'll talk to you really briefly about the candidate meetings that we're doing. So every Monday in the conference room at the Paramount, any candidate who is running for office in Laramie County who wants to come down and talk to me about strategy, talk to me about, you know, how does Target Smart work? What can we do there? How does Vote Builder work? I want to do a minivan walk list for the Democrats, like Gavin's working on right now, Democrats and independents in his district. I want to see that walk list. I'm doing the data on all that for candidates this year. There's now Brittany's campaign, they're doing it themselves. They're pretty sophisticated. They've got people who have run for office before and used Vote Builder before. So she hasn't asked for my help, but everybody else, I remember trying to learn Vote Builder when I was running in 22. And I kind of figured it out right before the election, and I was wishing that I had known something about it before then. So I know something about it now. So I'm available for all the candidates, and it doesn't take me much time at all. And also, because this is through the DNC, again, you need all kinds of approvals to do certain things, which over the course of the years since 22, I've gotten those approvals, so I can do things that probably some of the candidates couldn't do without spending weeks getting permission. And I've already got it, so why not lean on me? But anyway, we could talk about that every Monday night at 4 o'clock at the Paramount in the conference room. And any candidate that wants to come by and commiserate, if nothing else. And what do y'all think? There's a couple candidates back in the back that have been coming. Are you guys worthwhile, the Monday meetings?
Are you going to get a combination to the room that works?
Yeah, I finally got that. I got an email on it.
Combination change?
Well, I don't know if the combination changed, but I couldn't remember it, so. I knew it was.
There, it's worthwhile.
I know it's 1600. I knew it was 1600 something. Oh wait, 1900 something. Yeah, 1900 something. I've got it written down now somewhere, so I'll probably remember it next time. Actually, it's 1904 pound sign, and the pound sign really is what escaped me the last time.
You got press the star.
So, I guess the only next thing I really want to talk about is some issue stuff. And I'm going to bore you to death for a minute with the Overton window. Anybody heard of the Overton window? So, the Overton window, this guy named Overton talked about this space where most people's thoughts are, you know, like pick an issue, pick women's reproductive rights. And virtually every state you would go to, what the majority of people believe shifts around a little bit. If you're in a place like, probably New York City, I'm sure the Overton window's over here where everybody believes that every woman should be able to make her own decisions about her own body. If you go to Salt Lake, I bet the Overton window's over here. So something I learned about campaigning the first time, painfully, is the candidate can't move the Overton window. For a candidate to win, they have to be running in the Overton window. They have to be running where the majority of people believe that issue is. That's how they're going to get voted. Yeah. So moving the Overton window so spot where our candidates are comfortable, that's my job. That's the job of the Laramie County Democratic Party. So there are a couple of issues that I'm passionate about. I want to tell you where I stand on them. I want to get you guys' input on where you stand and just tell you what I'm doing about those issues to kind of move the window. So the first one is 287G. That ought to be on everybody's mind because our sheriff's been sued twice now. And I wish I could find the Facebook post that I posted about 6 or 8 months ago where I said, one of the problems with these 287G agreements is we're going to get sued. And it's not Brian Kozak that's going to pay for the lawsuit, it's all of us. He doesn't pay to fight the lawsuit, he doesn't pay if there's a settlement. And so that's, the ACLU suit is basically about the fact that the sheriff in Wyoming has no legal authority to sign a 287G agreement. That's not the way it works. The second lawsuit was filed because of, if you read what's in the paper, some fairly egregious things Kozak did in detaining someone. And we've all heard the stories. I've heard plenty of stories that make me know that this is no doubt true. At any rate, I'm pretty publicly going to make the point that our sheriff has no business signing 287G agreements. And almost everybody that's running as a candidate can say something about that because there's, first of all, he should have gone through the county commission. So our county commissioners have something to say about it. Second of all, we can make it state law that you can't have a 287G agreement in this state. And for a state that prides itself on not being influenced by Washington, I would think that there's going to be some support for that. So that's one of my issues.
Can't the county commission force him to renege that, or is the county commission in cahoots with him?
Well, my bet, Jim, I'm just guessing. I don't know anybody on the county commission personally, but I'm going to say that they're in complete agreement with him, and it's much easier for them to just keep their mouth shut than it is for them to say anything about it one way or the other and just let him go. That's what I think. Kind of like some of the things our president gets by with that Congress doesn't say anything about because they don't want to have to be on record saying, oh, gee, I think that was a really good idea, but they do think it's a really good idea, so they're not calling him on any of the stuff. Really associated with 287G is another issue that's really important to me, and this is a word that I was unfamiliar with until about a week ago, so I'm going to explain the word. But pretextual stops. What's a pretextual stop? Well, this is legal racial profiling, and it's been proven to be legal. There's a Supreme Court decision in 1996 that said it was legal. So you say, oh, look, that black Jeep out there has a broken taillight. Now, the broken taillight had nothing to do with it. The black Jeep out there didn't have white people driving it. And so that's really why you want to make the stop. But you stopped because it had a broken taillight. And then you look at the driver's license and, oh gosh, it's not a real ID, or you don't care that it's a real ID, so you detain this person. And there's some ways to stop that. The easy way is, again, you could pass a state law that says you don't pull anybody over for those kind of minor traffic violations. If you want to do something, send them a sternly worded letter saying your taillight's out, but you don't stop them. And I feel pretty strongly about that too, because I just think it's wrong, and we all know how it's being used in Laramie County. We all know it, and so this would be an easy way to stop that. So that's another one of my issues. Third one on my list is data centers. And again, almost every candidate we have has something to say about data centers. And I've been looking for economic development in Laramie County for, let's see, I'm 67, probably for 65 years I've been looking for economic development in Laramie County. But it has to be done rationally, and it has to be done in a way that us, the citizens of Laramie County, have some say in it, know what's going on, and don't end up with a power bill that's $2,000 a month because of what the data centers did. Now, the information's not out there right now for us to make that kind of decision. And again, I think this is an easy issue to fix. The data centers are deliberately skirting our Industrial Siting Commission two ways. The first one is any investment, no matter what it is, over $283 million doesn't go through industrial siting. Now, we know these data centers, it's right there in the paper.
If it's over 283.
Yeah,
It has to go through industrial siting.
Right, it has to, that's it, I'm sorry, it has to go through industrial siting. So we know these data centers, it's right there in the paper, they're $2.5 billion or something like that. But they don't do that all at once. They do it $250 million a year so that it never triggers industrial siting. The other thing they do is they do an industrial park. The city annexes an industrial park. And as soon as that industrial park is there, then nothing that goes in that industrial park is going to go through the Industrial Siting Council. And again, this has come up before, and when it comes up for something that Republicans don't like, we change the law. In 2010, we made it the law, we named wind turbine sites, that every wind turbine site, regardless of size, goes through industrial siting. In 2020, we named solar panels. Same thing, every industrial solar panel site goes through industrial siting. So there's precedent, right? We just name data centers.
It's easy.
And once they're named, then they're all going to go through industrial siting. The Industrial Siting Council, that lady came and talked to us, Kate's friend. She came and talked to us about this. They've been doing this for a very long time. Freddie and I have been through the industrial siting process with projects we've done out at Dino now, Coastal back in the day when I worked out there. They look at things like community impacts. That's one of the things they look at. That's what they have. That's what they're charged to do. And so it would be pretty easy for them to be able to do that. And the first thing that you're going to say is, oh my gosh, they don't have near the personnel for that. Well, there's a whole bunch of data centers coming in here who have a whole lot of money. I bet we could do some sort of an expedited permitting process like they do in Louisiana, where if you're willing to pay the money, you can get a quicker permit. I bet we could do something like that. So there's ways to solve that too. So it's another one of my issues. And again, I'm not against economic development. I'm not against good jobs. I'm just against getting run over by a bunch of people who are a lot smarter than me. I keep picturing our little city council sitting there on one side of the table and 50 lawyers from Microsoft sitting on the other side of the table. And I don't know about those guys, but I wouldn't have a chance against 50 lawyers from Microsoft. So I just think we can do a better job of that. And then one last thing, and this just came up, and we only have a few days actually to comment, or we won't ever be able to comment. The Forest Service is changing its rules so that they don't have to go through a public comment period when they make policy changes. We only have till I think the 26th of July to comment on that. If you go to, I don't know, it might be on Jim's website too, but I know because we put it there today that if you go to Lisa Kinney's website, you can click the link and you can go to this new rule that they're making, and you can go to the place where you can comment. And I do think public lands is an issue that resonates across the political divide. Everybody's interested in public lands, and I don't know that anybody thinks it's a great idea to not have public comment.
And we have till when?
Till the 26th of July to make your comment, or really honestly, forever hold your peace. So those are my issues. I don't know what you all think, but I think, go ahead, Tom. Oh, flock cameras, yeah. I'm still a flock camera opponent, and we'll probably still have some things to say about that. It's very difficult right now because we have done so many controversial things in Laramie County that were I to go to a city council meeting and try to talk about flock cameras, I wouldn't be able to do it until 2 o'clock in the morning. But they're going to have to be renewed in the fall.
Yeah,
And that's when that'll be an issue. When they have to be renewed, we all need to be there.
Did you see they used 83,000 cameras to track one pregnant woman
Really?
in Texas?
She left the state to get an abortion.
Oh.
83,000 cameras.
Go ahead, Gav.
Something else I was just reading today is that the body cam software that both the sheriff's office and the CPD uses are testing using AI to basically come through all the video footage they saved to the cloud, and it would tag individuals, regardless of whether or not things at you, and they're testing it, so that it would automatically write a police report based on who's found in these videos as well.
Oh, wow.
So that.
Another privacy issue. Mr. Simpson said several meetings ago that there's a lot of people in Laramie County that are playing pretty fast and loose with the Fourth Amendment, and I think we need to rein them in. Go ahead, Kate.
I think something that could happen, the city of Green River was going to install those cameras, and it was defeated yesterday 8-1 not to install them.
Oh.
So I think that, they hear all these other comments, and
I think that's really good.
This has been added with others, and I think this we can raise it.
Didn't the data center moratorium get passed in some community in the state recently too? Oh, I read something.
It might have. I don't know what I might. And as I say, I don't even know that we need a moratorium would be great until we could get some laws changed, but mostly I think we just need to go through industrial siding. We need to make the process work like it was intended to work. The law's been, that industrial siding law has been in place since 1975, so it's worked for a long time.
It still needs the approval of the governing body local, either the county or the city, and the industrial siding, and there are different regulations that we look at.
Sure.
For the county, there's 25 or more agencies that look at every application for a data center.
But once, Kate, am I right that once it goes into one of these industrial parks and that's been annexed into the city, then the county can't?
If the zoning is a planned unit development, then they regulate themselves. They've set the zoning.
Yeah. So, anyway, those are my issues. That's really all I have aside from two things. One is the 50-50 raffle, of course. We got to see who won that. And the other is that our man Jim Van Dyke back there, candidate for House District 42, can make his own buttons. And he brought the stuff in tonight to show you all how to make buttons. So if you all want a little demonstration of how to make buttons without going to somebody and buying them.
Can I add something to what you were just talking about, the flock cameras? I was talking to Tom Seagrave on City Council, and he said that they are considering not renewing the flock contract. However, there is another company that they will hire just because
It's not flock.
has such a bad name.
Yeah, they did that in Denver. Denver just did that.
Rally on Saturday, immigration strong, ICE out, 287G's out. If you want to come by and scream, starts at noon. And then we will rally on Cheyenne Day as well.
Noon at the Capitol.
Noon at
Saturday.
Saturday and then Cheyenne. Okay? Everybody's out.
Yeah, choose one. All right. Anybody have a ticket that ends in 843?
843.
Ah, look at that.
Now I'll be able to buy a tank of gas. Just kidding, keep the money. Tell me how much I would've won. Yeah. 108.
No,
Good.
50-50, so it would be,
Well, it would have been half of 100.
yeah, so 54 bucks.
Right, 54.
That's all I have unless somebody has something else. We're adjourned and you guys can go back and talk to Jim about budget if you'd like to.
I have the floor, Mr. Chair.
You have the floor.
Thank you. And I've got a microphone too, so they can hear me out in TV land. Thank you. Laramie County Democrats, it's nice to be home for a few days and be able to come to one of your meetings. Just to give you an idea of what I've been up to, last week I put 2,100 miles on my car, going around the state talking to people about various things. The week before I put 700, the week before I put 950. You see there's a theme going on here. Elections in Wyoming are one at the doorstep. That's what Ted is trying to tell you. We can sit around here and do all we want, but unless you get out there and knock on doors and talk to people, let them know what we're about. They're going to stay home. And we have to find those people, that 170,000 people who did not vote in the last election. We have to find them, figure out what their hot button is, push, pull, drag, get them to the polls, get them registered, and get them to vote. So from my perspective, I'm running for a statewide office that is a federal office. So my issues and my coverage is a little bit different than the local candidates here. But I remember running for the legislature here. It still works the same way. They need two things from you. They need your vote and they need your money. So like Ted said earlier, find a candidate that you can identify with, makes you feel good, and be generous and open up your checkbook. Because what we do out here is very expensive. You know what a tank of gas costs? I run through 2 tanks of gas a day.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah. So now you got my budget. Now these guys are a little bit easier because they got to do a lot of footwork. But it still costs, the printing, the signs, and all of that. The TV time, the ads, it all costs money. And I can't say enough about, we can do this. We're Democrats. Be proud Democrats. Show up and get Democrats elected. And thank you, Ted.
There you go.
Nothing super big speech-wise, but I just want to say something I've been running into as I've been talking to people kind of around town, around the city, in my district and not, is this idea of saying, oh, well, I'd love to vote for you, but I'm not in your district. I always tell them likes, shares are free. I will take money. My money does not stop at my house district. But the other thing on top of that is I think generally a progressive voice in the legislature represents all of us no matter what district it's from. We are the capital city in this state and we do not have any Democratic representation. So I don't know that our support needs to stop and end at House lines and Senate lines. Whether or not you have one running or you don't, you can support any candidate in this race. So.
Good point.
That's my
Anna, do you have any, want to say anything?
Hi, everyone.
I don't need the mic, but since I'm a candidate, I'll just say, so you're in Senate District 5. If you're in my little neighborhood, that's the only city precinct in Senate District 5. And there's few people actually that are close. Or it's everything in the county out to the Albany County line, and everything south of Cheyenne down to the Colorado line outside in the county. You pretty much heard my issues. I just talked quite a bit about issues that are passionate to me, so you know what I'm running on. Coincidentally, almost all the data centers are going to be in Senate District 5. So it's something that I'm pretty passionate about. The way I'd really like you all to judge me as far as thinking is that guy we're supporting as a candidate is by looking to see if I'm supporting these folks enough. Am I doing enough for them? Because that's really my goal, is to get Democrats elected in Laramie County. And the passion that I bring to that is the passion that I would bring to the legislature if I get elected to the legislature. And the organization, such as it is, that I bring to that, that's the organization I'll bring to the legislature. And so that's really the way to judge me, I think. And I really hope to be judged because everybody in that corner of the room just won. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. We have a rule in my campaign, because I heard it twice tonight, and it kind of bugs me. We heard the word hope, and we heard the word if. Drop that from your vocabulary. Because it's not hope and if, it's when. When we win elections, when we show up, we will do this. There's no if about it. If we're worried about ifs, then you're already thinking that you're halfway beat. If you change the way we think about elections, we win elections. So please, quit using those terms. Thank you.
Bravo.
Oh, Jim, do you have anything you want to say?
I just, Jim Van Dyke, I'm running for House District 42. My background is in data centers and technology, and I just want to bring sort of sanity to the process and, level-headedness. And yes, you can have development, but they don't have to consume a ridiculous amount of resources and be, environmentally a mess. So that's what I want to push.
Bravo.
Excellent, bravo.
So we know where you are. Oh, yeah, I think you're fine, that's where I am. Yes, I'm Barbara Fred Cabot. I'm running for county commissioner. My concerns are data centers as well. I was an environmental engineer and manager for 28 years, so I've done a lot of big cons, and I kind of know what happens when you build things like that and build them quickly. I'm also very concerned about our library, and I don't think that we should be picking books. I think that the professionals who are librarians and all have master's degrees know way better than I would about a book or a program, so I'd like to keep the library in the librarian's hands and not other interest groups. I also am a big advocate of our Laramie County Community Health. I think they're a wonderful facility, and they treat our community really well, and they've helped so many people, and they'll help anyone, and that's lovely, and they need lots of support. So those are my hot buttons for the county.
Bravo.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
If you're going to be on the county commission, are you going to try to get the county commission to force the sheriff to drop the agreement?
Oh, well, certainly, yes, certainly, yes.
Who knows, what is the proposition that has to do with our libraries? I've seen- What is it, what will it do? If it's not.
Yeah, but he's got the list.
Give me a minute and I'll find it here.
There's 2 of them.
There's 14 of them here, so I gotta search.
I think 6 and 13.
6 and 13. 3 and 13.
Proposition 3, it's long, collect a total of 10.5 million. Projects in the town of Alvin, Pine Bluff, Burns, and Laramie County. Alvin is cemetery repairs, town of Burns is park improvements, water and sewer in Alvin, town of Burns equipment, town of Burns water and sewer, Pine Bluffs, and it's got way at the bottom, Laramie County Library, $6,382 for infrastructure improvements in Cheyenne and remodel construction connected to separate liability in Pine Bluff. So that is $6,300 in a $10.5 million proposition. What was the other one?
13?
Pardon?
13, I thought.
13?
16.
I didn't even know there were 14 propositions.
Okay, here, Proposition 13, collect a total of $9.1 million for the Laramie County Recreation Board, which is 1.8 for capital improvements in such and such an NB. For Laramie County Library, $7,348,000 for community requested facility improvements to enhance safety, accessibility, and functionality in Cheyenne and Pine Bluffs.
So it sounds like a lot of the
Boy, that shit's
propositions
really
are
hidden in
six
there, isn't it?
penny. It's not-
Great,
it's
Gavin.
like 6 penny.
Yeah, it's 6 penny stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why there's so many, is because this is a 6 penny.
Where they're spreading that money around.
So I can offer some insight to some of those. Another group I'm a part of, Shine Young Professionals, I'm on the board there. We actually hosted a county commissioner, city councilman from Pines Bluff, and Antonia from the library, aka our librarian, to speak on some of their propositions at one of our meetings over there. So they should be broken up, and I'd like to look at your sample ballot, but they broke them up this year allegedly through infrastructure, public safety, and then enhancements.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested as to why they would be quote unquote buried within there. But some of the library stuff, and I don't mean to misspeak, I'm just educating, not advocating. As a county employee, I have to say that. But the library actually was able to purchase the old police station, I believe, in Pine Bluff. And so they are connecting it because Pines Bluff, I believe, has their library does not meet the needs. There's so many people there that are checking out books, so they're trying to expand it, and they're also doing it very smartly. Is that they're implementing some new technology where they can check out the books themselves, and they don't need to have the additional ongoing costs of staff. So that's something they're doing. They're being very diligent about their proposals. And the secondary proposal, which is the enhancement, I think it could also fall into some infrastructural stuff, but really redoing a bunch of the spaces within the library. The building is about 20 years old. My apologies. And they are looking to implement a lot of feedback they got from the community, some of which is creating like a library of things. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it's like they'll have like sewing machines or some lawn equipment that they can check out to people, things that kind of have a high barrier of entry or you don't really need to use that often. So that's kind of what that proposition is for. That's one of those aspects. They're going to, I believe, change part of the upstairs where they have the computer lab and kind of reduce that a little bit and do like a maker situation where they'll have leatherworking materials, sewing materials. I think a long arm quilting machine is in the cards for that, just to really allow the community to come together and make together and allow people to teach a kind of different classes throughout there. And they also want to expand their library to business program. So that one, we've actually won a nationwide award for that, but it's a little room, and I don't know if you guys have ever sat in it. I wrote some of my I've wrote some of my campaign stuff in that little closet, so shout out to it because it is doing its job, but they want to expand that. But yeah, so just educating, not advocating, but that's some insight to those.
Good, good.
Anybody have anything else before I adjourn?
I got a question, Tim. I'm only aware of all these propositions because accidentally I went down to the elections office today and I was on the list to go to the training to work the polls, and I informed them I can't do that because I'm on ballot. And I asked for the printout of a sample ballot. Now what I'm wondering is how does anybody else know what all these propositions are?
I haven't even heard of any.
Well, I've seen the list and it's much more broad, yeah.
You can go online and get a sample.
So there is a couple different resources. Laramie County has published it on their website. They kind of break down all the different things. And as Pine Bluff and Albin are within the county, they sponsor Albin and Pines Bluff for some of those projects. I think there's some big infrastructure ones for Pine Bluff related to their water processing plant, which I think are very necessary. But they have some resources. The city also has some great resources on their website. If you stop by the county building, I believe any of those main public-facing offices should have some kind of material. They have pamphlets, handouts. The library has some stuff in their building, in their cafeteria, and they should all be on the county, the city, and then the library has the links on their website as well.
So I suppose the easiest way for most people, if they have a computer and internet at home, is go to the Laramie County website. And there should be linked to all the propositions.
Yep, there should be little blurbs telling you what they are, who they're for, what they represent, and the
They have
cost.
the capability to print it out, so they
Yep,
can.
yep, they should be able to.
That's because they divide things really
The
good.
Tribune Eagle has an election guide to the top.
Do you have the, I went down there and I asked for a sample ballot for my precinct, gave them my address. Is there a way somebody can do that online and get a sample?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's very easy.
Okay. Thanks.
You type your address in, and it'll give you a sample ballot for your.
Yeah, hey Ted, I thought I'd be remiss because we all support social services and nonprofits. Just a reminder that YO Gives is next Wednesday, the 15th. That's your day-long opportunity to donate to hundreds of really worthy service-related nonprofits in Cheyenne and around the state. It's a web-based donation program. It's really effective. There's usually a huge corporation match, so your money is matched if you donate. So YO Gives next Wednesday, all day long.
That's good, very good. Anything else? I accept a motion to adjourn. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Get out of here.